Aloklu here, the Group CEO. To his right is Mr. D.K. Agarwal, who you might remember as the head of IRP and is the head of our PET division. And to his right is Mr. Ashok Jain, who is the head of corporate finance. And of course, I'm Richard Jones, head of IR. If you have any follow-up questions later, please contact me. I'd like to start now by inviting Mr. D.K. Agarwal to go through the presentation, if you don't mind, Mr. Agarwal.
Very good afternoon. We are presenting the third quarter highlights. The record financial performance is the first highlight. We are pleased to announce the record quarterly and 9 months earning, surpassing the record set in the previous quarter of 2010. IVL announced net profit after tax and minorities of 6.55 billion for the 9 months ended 30th September 2010, which is a growth of 90% year-on-year, and Baht 2.9 billion for third quarter 2010, a growth of 40% quarter-on-quarter. Acquisition of additional shares of TPT. As you know that we increased our shareholding from 55% to 99.9% in the beginning of this quarter. It owns and operates 540,000 ton of PTA plant and a 55 megawatt coal-fired power plant. The benefit of this earning will come in the fourth quarter as the acquisition was completed in the 1st October. As our Group CEO has presented the Aspiration 2014, we continue to grow our business and expand the global footprint. As you know, IRP did not have any presence in China. We made an entry into this high growth market in China through signing a definitive agreement to acquire a 406,000 ton plant to produce PET polymer and polyester fiber and yarns in Kaiping City in Guangdong province, where the Asian Games are being held. So this is a acquisition in China, which we'll explain you later. We came across a rare opportunity to acquire the plant in USA and Mexico. This is an acquisition of 1 million ton capacity with a customer base. This means the customers are already there in North America from Investa. This acquisition will allow IVL to build upon its expanding global platform, making IVL the largest PET producer in the world, much beyond the second largest producer, and complement strategy to increase the global footprint into high growth markets of Central and Latin America. As you know, we don't have a presence in Central America. In Mexico, there are only 2 producers, M&G and this Investa, so we acquired one of them. This is right next to Mexico City. So this acquisition includes a plant in USA and a plant in Mexico to produce PET polymers, specialty polymers and polyester fiber. We'll later on tell you about this acquisition. What is the positive outlook for polyester chain? The polyester value chain remains very positive with the strong fundamentals to serve consumer necessities. As you might have heard, the cotton is becoming very short. Polyester replaces cotton. So our business segments, which are well integrated and spread over 3 continents, the depth of our integration allows us to capture the total margin on the value chain, and our scale provides for a competitive cost structure. IRP always believes, and IVL always believes, in the cost competitive structure. The IVL model continues to demonstrate the growth in sales and earning, while margin remain relatively stable in our consolidated business. So the positive outlook is the cotton is very short, the polyester is growing rapidly, and this chain is really tight, and we see a good positive outlook. Another good news for IVL is the inclusion in the MSCI index. Now I walk you through each one of them separately. Let us talk about the acquisitions, which is Investa and China. A background about Investa: they have 2 plants, one in Spartanburg, USA, and Querétaro in Mexico. What is the origin of this? Is part of the business acquired by Koch Industries from DuPont and merged with KOSA. So Investa were formerly known as DuPont Textiles. So the combination position Indorama Ventures as the world's leading producer of PET after this acquisition and enables IVL to meet its customer needs in North America. This also complements with our 2 plants, as you know, in Asheboro, North Carolina, and the state-of-art plant in Alabama, which is the Alpha PET, and Additional benefit of the acquisition, which I will have, will include the access to new customers and markets. As you know, we don't have any customer base at present in Mexico. We can't serve these markets. So this Querétaro will help us to get the Mexico market. This is fully sold. The entire product is sold. We don't have specialties in US. So this acquisition of Spartanburg brings into the specialty PET fibers market via Spartanburg. They also have fiber which produces specialty non-woven fiber. As you know, one of the weakness which IVL had was the R&D. This acquisition adds up the enhancement of the R&D capabilities which this plant has. This also benefits from integration with IVL's existing facilities. There are a lot of synergies with AlphaPet and StarPet. And we can have production flexibility between various plants. We are able to get better comfort with the customer level. As you know, we just signed a definitive agreement. The transaction is expected to be completed in the first quarter to be accretive to the IVL's earning in the first full year of acquisition. We believe that there is a further opportunity to create value for its shareholders through this energy capture. Invista, as background, as I said, is a premier polyester company with a rich heritage. So what you have acquired is a depth of management. You acquired is a specialty. And there's a lot of synergy between our commodity fibers in Thailand. As you know, the IVL produces Thailand, the fibers with this specialty fibers. And what is its origin is from merger of DuPont and Hext Celanese assets, both product developers or innovators which on commercialization exited the business. So it has been a great opportunity to acquire a fully sold business with R&D capability with existing customer base. Let's look at there are two photographs here. As you can see, Spartanburg and Querétaro. Spartanburg is in South Carolina. It's about 640 acres in South Carolina. The site produces PET, specialty polymers, fibers and film, a small capacity of film, with end uses including bottles for carbonated soft drinks, water, juices, food, and other customer container application. The Spartanburg site has a full-fitted application laboratory. They are developing several new products. They have made some breakthrough. These are high-value product lines, which will show you some of the in following slides. They have the pilot facilities for polymers as well as for injection molding and bottle blowing. The total capacity of specialty polymers, PET polymers and fibers is about 470,000 tons fully sold to service the market. So you can leverage on their specialties. For Spartanburg, will be an acquisition of assets, and we will establish a 100% owned subsidiary to acquire these assets. So this is an asset acquisition. Invista's Querétaro site is located on a 90-acre site in central Mexico, very close to central Mexico. The other competitor, MNG, is in Altamira, which is east of Mexico. So the logistic cost for this, our plant is this plant will be much lower. This again site produces PET, specialty polymers and fibers, similarly to the Invista's Spartanburg operations. The total capacity of this site is 535,000 tons, which basically services Mexico, Latin America, and Central America. So it's totally new print. There's no customer overlap between our existing facilities and these facilities at all. And even in Spartanburg, we don't have much customer overlap. So we have studied this and we feel that there's a lot of synergy benefit. Querétaro, Mexico will be a shared acquisition. This is an acquisition of a company and will become a direct or indirect subsidiary of IVL. This we have decided based on our tax benefits. As always says, such opportunities comes once in a lifetime. You don't get such assets very easily, the cheap assets. 1 million ton capacity with a customer base are rare opportunity, and this deal will strengthen our value proposition to our customers and stakeholders and further reinforce our commitment to the polyester value chain. This acquisition will also allow us to build upon our existing global platform, making the company largest PET producer in North America and in the world, much ahead of the second competitor. At the same time, complement the strategy to increase its footprint into new higher growth markets in Central and Latin America. Of course, if you acquire in US a big capacity, there can be a lot of overlap. So here what we see, a Mexican asset is, there's no overlap with our customer base. Furthermore, In this acquisition, their innovative products and recognized brand will allow IVL to enhance its value proposition